Why do you ban people? Because they're annoying. What do you mean? Why do you ban people?
I don't. Nobody talks to me.
Everybody knows the playbook that they always run on me. It's make fun of Dick. Make fun of Dick. That doesn't work because you're not as good at making fun of me as I am.
Well, and
I mean that's the hard...
You also don't respond to a lot of the things that would get other people to stop.
Yeah. Oh, here I got you. Yeah. I mean that was kind of a good joke, but here's how I would have done it.
And I also don't care.
And I also don't care. Like you guys are using phrases that I don't think I even used when I was a kid, like alpha and chat. Like I'm 4 years old, guys. Yeah. This is I don't give a fuck about the alpha beta dichotomy.
I know.
I think it's funny when Jesse Lee Peterson does it because he's being an
Well, it's
asshole,
also funny because so many animal groups like that doesn't like the alpha can be a female. You know what I mean?
Like the hyenas. The
like it happens in cats, happens in canine families too. Like a lot of this
part of it.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like they don't even know what they're saying a lot of the time.
But then it's hit me. That making fun of him didn't work. Whoops. So let's moralize. Actually, it's that you're a bad person. Actually, you have a rape list. Actually, all these things, and you're a thief and a criminal. Like, okay, that doesn't work. Well, actually, he's boring. It's not funny. This shows that doesn't work.
Well, that's the one that's got to get to you.
Yeah, right? It should.
Boring.
How
dare you?
And then it's, well, none of that worked, so let's get his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
Right.
Oh, I wonder where this one's going. I wonder where this round is going. Every fucking time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, to be continued.
Yeah, to be... Hey guys, I'm trying to romanticize a woman. Should I tell her my eyes hurt and then call her an angel? Well, I mean, yes, you should start there. What did you plan on telling her? About your mastery of the blade? About your geopolitical positions? I've got bad news for you, spaghetti boys. PPP is the kind of person who enters a video chat and immediately turns off. Oh yeah, the fat guy did that.
He turned off the webcam or something?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He came in looking like King Hippo and then shut off the feed real quick.
So, did you? You're blacking out the screen? You got to sit back.
So I thought it was the Numa guy.
Scoot back. You're too close to the... I see nothing but black.
The camera can't focus.
Yeah.
You want... Aren't you meant to be comedians? See? It's supposed to... That's a version of you're boring.
I've never identified myself once as a comedian. That's just all you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
The last thing I consider myself as a comedian.
Oh God. It's sad to me that you guys are. You can do better than this. You can learn. You can do better.
Go home and think about what you've done.
Think about what you've done. You forget. You forget how long I've been on the internet. 2005. Taking I've heard.
You were on the internet
these things
well
before
that, though. Oh, 2005 was
Men Are Better Than Women.
Right, sure. You're gonna.
That's where you small dick
You've
mother.
had 15 years of every insult.
Believe
they can hurl.
me.
Yeah.
When I say make me feel something, I fucking mean it. Did you take that heat from Spurgs frantically mashing on their keyboards, then fucking with me while I'm working outside? Thank you, Dick, thank you, Dick, that you take the heat from Spurgs frantically mashing on it. Well, it's funny. It's entertainment. These guys are doing this for free. Will you cut a promo with Ralph for the PPP fight? Yeah, sure. If it's really happening. We've all been on the internet this long. You have not been on the internet in the same way I have.
No,
you just fucking haven't.
Yeah, that's the...
I mean...
Right. Some people have been on the internet for 15 years as a lightning rod.
Yeah.
And other people have been active on the internet in forums and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah,
having friends.
It's not the same thing. It can't be the same thing.
No. That's why we are all here. I've been using it since '96. Yeah.
Well, I know. So have you, right? I mean, okay. Nobody's even. I don't know.
I've been on it. We had the same experience then.
Yeah.
You're right. You also had thousands of people telling you have a small dick and you can't get laid constantly. You're right.
All right, I gotta go to the store.
Oh yeah. Okay. Bye. Bye.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to This Week in Nectar. It's real! It's real! It's real! Everybody press 1 in the chat because the cover-up is real, the collusion is real, the conspiracy is real, Josh is taking orders from his lord and master Dick Masterson. It's real! We're right! We've been right all along, and we can never get enough. So many ones in the chat, so many ones! It's real! It's real! And you know why it's real, ladies and gentlemen? Because we've been proven so correct. During the past 12 hours, Josh has been cleaning it up so hard in his own Kiwi Farms thread. I'm joined by Leo, who's been pressing 1 so hard. Leo, have you been pressing 1?
You can hear it on my keyboard. Spamming.
PPP has also been pressing 1 so hard.
So many thousands and thousands of ones for all the This Week in Nectar maniacs out there, baby.
Because it's real. It's real. It's real. Now, PPP, you're going to give us all the TLDR on the whole why Josh has been just spiraling out of control. You're going to tell us why he's been handing IP addresses and doxes to Dick Masterson. Why he's cleaning it up on this one particular issue. Why Kiwi Farms is the last bastion of purity and there are no lies told on Kiwi Farms. You've got to explain to us why this has been going on. PPP.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, if you take a deep whiff of the air, if you just, inhale it into your nostrils, you're going to smell the smell of cleaning products on the floor, the bleach, the ammonia that's been poured out by Janny Juice in his attempts to mop it up over the last day. Now, why is this? Well, it's because I cut my shoot promo on Janny Juice, where I didn't call him Janny Juice. I didn't try and demean him or degrade him or make him feel bad or put him into a bad headspace, put him into this depression, into this meltdown, into this spiral that he's in. I tried to extend the hand of friendship to Janny Juice. I apologized for calling him a pedophile. And, I was really trying to extend an olive branch. I was going to, go on his show or have him go on my show. And we were going to hash everything out. And I was trying to exonerate him of all this. Well, Janny Juice didn't like it one bit. And he began to spiral on the farms out of control, spurging out in my thread about the new fags who have ruined his website, how he's going to delete the entire internet famous section of his website, how it's all my fault. I brigaded people in here and, how on Kiwi Farms we don't like to spread misinformation and half-truths. Those things don't exist on the farms. And it's important that we do this because we need to maintain the purity of form of Kiwi Farms. And I was told that I was a bad faith actor. I was told that I was acting in bad faith. When I'm literally dealing with somebody who's engaging in bad faith, I try and extend an olive branch to him. He just immediately tries to fuck me over and post bullshit about me on his website.
Well, PPP, the thing is he doesn't believe you're acting in good faith because he knows you have a secret army of neat samurai that are willing to act on any one of your commands to descend upon the Kiwi Farms and destroy the site at the mere whims of your suggestion. So this is why he's not.
It's not just that. Not only do I have tens of thousands of legions of neat samurai who are forming new accounts and brigading his site to change the culture, but I've been actively able to subvert the culture of the Kiwi Farms by using telekinesis to influence the minds of each and every user. And I've caused them to be twisted and contorted into their mind into a disturbed reality where New Project 2 is a scam, when in reality it's God's gift to payment processors and the last bastion of free speech. But I've twisted their minds into believing there might be something here when the website doesn't have a fucking privacy policy. They don't protect your info. There's rumors of Zoom having worked on the fucking thing, and there's just constant cleanup jobs, constant flagging about this issue. But no, I have actually telepathically manipulated the minds of the users to question the narrative. And that's what's fucked up. I've subverted it. I'm like some sort of CIA or thesis or MI6 agent whose job has been to collapse and destabilize the farms. And I've succeeded completely through my telepathic powers, men who stare at goats style. Yes.
And the payment processor for Kiwi Farms, right? New Project 2. It's headed by this guy we've been talking quite a bit about, Dick Masterson. His behavior hasn't been very, very becoming of a CEO handling, important information, has it, on Twitter, right? Do you guys know anything about this? I don't know. I've been out of the loop. I hear he's been going kind of crazy on Twitter or something, acting kind of crazy. You heard anything about this?
Well, Dax Herrera has been having a meltdown about every single person who posts in his Kiwi Farms thread. It's been going on for days and days now.
But there's mainly one issue, is there not, PPP? And it's that 80s Girl is a cam whore. or LARPed as a cam whore once in the past.
Before we even had the cam whore allegation, right? It was just people who were making fun of Dick in the thread, and so he would screen cap it and try and like destroy them, and he did this for days and days, and eventually he stirred the trash fire enough and threw enough gas onto the flames that they finally were like digging up info about 80s girl being a cam whore. And that's now when the sanitization job has kicked into fucking overdrive. And Josh is receiving his private orders to fucking clean it up from the capo, the head man himself, the Don, Dick Masterson. This is what we're dealing with. It's insanity. But the seethe is palpable.
But Masterson does not want the truth to be out there that his girlfriend, his live-in girlfriend, 80s girl, was a cam whore, was a thought, was an ego. He doesn't want that to be out there in the public knowledge. So he's decided to order Josh to clean it up. He's retweeting posts from Kiwi Farms saying this is outrageous. You can't say lies like this on Kiwi Farms. These people must be brought to justice. Now, there's a specific poster that I want you to talk about, PPP, and he goes by the name of George.
George. Now, George had basically come out with some info proving that 80s girl was a cam whore, or at least what he did was he didn't prove necessarily she was a cam whore, but he linked her to this Hula Girl 86 username. And so Dick had denied that Hula Girl 86 was ever 80s girl, but this guy had proved, pretty definitively, Hula Girl 86 was 80s girl. So why would Dick have denied that username being hers if there was nothing to hide? Then other users, including, I think George, came out with a picture, supposedly, of 80s girl cam whoring. And from that moment on, shit just hit the fan when Dax himself decided that he was going to call out this motherfucker by name. He said, I know who you are. You're Ben. Because I received a message on Discord from a guy named Ben Garrison is winning or something like this. So because the guy...
But let's clarify. Just how Dick Masterson knows with pinpoint accuracy who that poster is. Just with pinpoint, direct, 100% precision. He knows exactly who this George guy is.
He knows exactly who this George guy is. He knows it's Ben, but there's nothing to this. There's no story. There's no, how does he know this guy would be the only one with the picture if there's nothing to it? Do you know what I mean? So then,
but he also knows, let's be honest, because Josh has handed him the IP address and docs details.
Well, we don't know that.
This is what's happened.
We don't know that, or do we? We'll see in some of these posts. But on top of him calling out this guy by his name, he goes a step further, and he gets this guy's a picture of his girlfriend, and tweets that out. This is unprecedented, because most, lolcows, they always talk about their thread, they always chimp out about what people are saying. But Dick Masterson has gone this extra step where he's actually gathering the private information of people in Kiwi Farms. And as you guys...
Wasn't it us who predicted that this was something that might happen as a result of Josh's relationship with Dick Masterson? That the info of users on Kiwi Farms might be exposed? And is this not confirmation that, in fact...
PPP, stop gaslighting the people. These people are men of honest integrity. True. Kiwi Farms is the last bastion of truth and integrity and purity on the internet. You can trust Josh not to pass on your personal details to Dick Masterson, a person who pays him $2,000, is essentially his boss, and who is essentially bidding he has to do in order to maintain favor and in order to maintain that money. You can trust Josh not to be a good employee. You can trust him there.
You can trust him. Remember, for all of you guys out there who are pay piggies right now for Josh or Dick or any people on New Project 2, you can trust them with your credit card details. You can trust them with your addresses. You can trust them with all the things that you need to provide in order to pay pig. Don't worry, it will never be abused. There will never be a time where if you say something that they don't like or you go against their narrative, that they put the thumb down and crush you under their fucking gun, or they unleash Ralph or Zoom on you. There's no way that shit could happen.
But wait.
No.
So Dick's reading his own thread, and he's looking at his own thread, and he sees this one poster who's posting what I would call pretty damning kosher evidence that this 80s girl used to moonlight as a whore, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's posted pretty conclusive evidence that that's the case. Masterson's sweating as he's reading this. Masterson's spurging out. He can't even drop LSD because he's afraid he's going to see PPP starfish going to consume him. So Masterson demands action be taken. He confronts Josh. He gives Josh his orders. Josh is brought back into the office yet again. It's not looking good for Josh. It's not looking good. Maybe the salary's going to be deducted a few more points at a time. Maybe he's going to have to receive a demotion. He's going to have to clean up more spillages in aisle 6 there. But Josh has got to clean it up. And so that's what we're seeing in the thread. And Leo's going to bring up those screencaps now.
Yes. So after Dick Masterson brought up who this guy is, like, this is Ben. Oh, wow. Making fun of his girlfriend and stuff. Some strange things start happening in Dick Masterson's thread. We see, and you guys can check this out. I put it up on the screen, screenshot some of these. Null appears in Dick Masterson's thread, and he says something kind of strange. He says, who is this guy that Dick is accusing George of being? What state does he live in?
Wow.
Huh.
And he already has the guy's IP address, but now he's just subtly hinting to the farms, hey, can you guys dox this guy so I have plausible deniability?
Just repeat that for me, Leo. Just repeat that whole message for me again, because I'm stunned.
Still stunned.
I'm awestruck. I'm baffled.
Who is this guy that Dick is accusing George of being? What state does he live in?
Doesn't that activate the almonds? Now, I've seen lots of people say that this is Josh trying to wash his hands to try and say that, he's a trustworthy individual and he's not going to directly dox the guy. He's not going to directly do that. Instead, he's going to allude to one of his capos to do it for him. What state does he live in? Is that relevant? Oh. Maybe it's relevant if you've got Dick Masterson asking for his personal docs that he can harvest and publish all over Twitter. Maybe it's relevant there.
The idea is to confirm that this guy is, fucking Ben? So, why do they even need to know what state he lives in or where he lives to know if he's Ben or not?
Because they want to discredit him. They want to turn this George guy into a lolcow. They want to turn Ben into a lolcow because you can't have any credible opinions from somebody who's a lolcow, right? Nobody who's a lolcow has any valid opinions, according to these people. If they just discredit you on a personal level completely, then therefore you're just irrelevant in general. It can't be that you actually have proper evidence. It can't be that you actually have a coherent, valid argument. No, if they dismiss you basically as a person, then they're fine. That's how they operate.
It serves as a deterrent to anybody who ever might want to open their mouth again or go against what they believe in. This is a clear line in the sand where they're cutting off a horse's head and leaving it in your bed to say, hey, don't fuck around anymore, pal. Don Dick is in town, and you don't go against what the boss says.
But the most baffling thing, the most baffling thing is how many other threads have jilted exes, people coming in, leaking their previous DMs or chat logs with the lolcow thread title in mind. Like if a thread about this person, oh, here are my interactions with them, here's what they said. They've done this for years. There are threads about that. But somehow, when it's about Dick Masterson, you get Null coming into the thread and saying, what state is this guy from? After the lolcow in question is tweeting about them on twitter.com. This is madness.
So prosperity is saying that this is unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen. Unprecedented behavior.
No, he's just a new fag, guys. You can't take his opinion seriously. Everybody that disagrees with Josh, remember, is a new fag. And they ruined his site. And they're PPP Neat Samurai who brigaded the site and changed it. So we need to delete the entire internet famous section and clean it up.
So let's just press 1 if people think that Josh is acting in a complicit, conspiratorial manner, covetous manner here. Press 1 if you think that Josh is acting in a conspiratorial way with his lord and master, his boss, Dick Masterson. Press 1 if you think that, asking for someone's state that they live in is a genuine conspiratorial angle. Press 2 if you think that Josh is an honest beacon of purity and hope, the last bastion of free speech on the internet. Press 1 if you think that Josh does not hold the gambit of good faith. Press 2 if you think that Josh is the gambit of bad faith.
you got to remember that Kiwi Farms is all about acting in good faith, and we have to ensure that every user has the correct motivations, because it's about ethics in low-cow farming. It's about ethics in trolling. It's about ethics in harassment. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. We need to make sure that the motivations of these people are clean and pure before they say anything about any cow. From this point,
Leo, would you like to bring up the next screenshot?
Sure. It's really strange you bring up the whole like ethics. I thought the site was about being funny. I don't know. It's really just I read the posts. I've been looking around on this weird site. I thought people are trying to be funny, but I guess now there's this strict code of ethics about, you know, what is your motivation for posting. But if we go into these other posts that Null makes in the thread, someone else is starting to talk about the relationship between George and the girlfriend that he has. And again, now Null refers to George as Ben, saying, what state is Ben from? And we see some collaboration with other users in the thread. We see over here, they say, I'm a friend of Ben. What would you like to know? Right,
So now, right away, he's gone with the narrative of Dix that this is now Ben. This is now his enemy Ben, you know? And now they're going to...
Well, he's had his briefing, PPP. He's accepted his briefing, he's accepted his orders, he's accepted the hymn sheet from which to sing from. And so therefore, he's going to label this guy as Ben. Even though we know, right, that before any of this stuff took place, that he'd already supplied Dick Masterson with the guy's IP address and docs, you know?
No, I mean, this definitely indicates that we should trust Null and that he's a good faith actor. I'm the bad faith actor for questioning, for asking questions makes me the bad faith actor. You know, this is definitely all in good faith here by Josh. This is all above board, you know, intimidating his own users on the site, you know, threatening to release their personal info, trying to get other people to go after users on the site, just because the sacred cow that Josh bows before, his boss, Dick Masterson, doesn't want anybody to know that his girlfriend, Marie, is a cam whore. It's tough. It's tough.
And it gets strange because what we're thinking, we're not crazy. Did you know that? There are other people in the thread who have the same concerns we have. And if we look at...
They're new fags.
Yeah, right. They're new fags. So someone in the thread...
They've been infected by politics. Yeah.
The disease, right? So someone else in the thread, Immortal Technique, says, just dox him if you want to dox him. Don't do all this coy stuff of asking us info you already know to absolve you of any future trust issues members might have with it. So that post right there sums up the sentiment both you and Godwinson had, right, PPP? That's exactly...
Yeah, and this is the sentiment that any normal, reasonable, rational person looking at that would take away from it.
Right.
You know, this Immortal Technique guy, I don't know him from Adam, but I know for a fact that he's bang on the money here. What Josh is absolutely doing is trying to absolve himself from, you know, issues with, you know, you can trust me with your credit card details by asking other lackeys to dox what state this post is in.
And you know, it's Josh's response reveals his underlying motivations, just how he feels about this whole thing. He says, eat shit. I'm looking at the information I have available, and I absolutely will confirm if this guy is some fag running offense under a pretense of being someone else. Did your dumbass think maybe that's why I'm asking questions? No? Then fuck you.
Isn't like 90% of the user base people running offense while pretending to be someone else? Like, why do people have avatars? Why aren't people posting on Kiwi Farms with their first and last names? Like, come on.
I mean, from this point forward, what we have to understand is we need to apply the standards of credible journalism, mainstream journalism, to the Kiwi Farms. So everybody, you need to scan in your driver's license now to post on the Kiwi Farms, or your health card or your social security number, and you need to post under your first and last name at all times now. That's what you have to do. And you got to remember, look at the arrogant attitude towards the people on his site.
Yeah, his own community. Eat shit. Eat shit. Sell out yourself, PPP.
Eat shit and fuck you. If you send Josh money and you have questions about...
Humble and grateful.
Yeah. About your support and what it stands for, and is it going to him, or does this guy, Dick Masterson, have undue influence? If you have any questions about that, fuck you. Eat shit. You're a piece of garbage. I don't want your money. I don't want you on my site. You're a new fag. You're banned. Like, this is basically what he's saying.
So that guy summed up the sentiment you guys have. This post sums up my sentiment perfectly, okay? Because what this user says, he quotes Null, the whole eat shit, fuck you. He says this: even if it is, Ben, who fucking cares? The idea that some guy digging into someone's past is running offense and should implicitly be discredited is some gay-ass Ralph tier bullshit. That's what I feel.
Well, look, this is real, right? Why have you got to verify your own identity to post about somebody's girlfriend on Kiwi Farms?
Well, remember, your motivations need to be clean and pure. And if you have any sort of personal interest or stake in a thread, you can't post in it anymore. But only for this thread, right? Well, we won't see these rules applied to any other thread on the website other than Dick Masterson's thread. Why is that? Because Dick Masterson is his boss, his paymaster, the slave driver, who tells him what's what and makes him dance to whatever tune that Dax has decided he's going to dance to that fucking...
Leo, can you just bring that screenshot back up again?
Yes, the previous one on...
yeah.
Put on the display. The one where he says, even if it is, who cares?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's on the screen right now.
So look at this, ladies and gentlemen. You can see here that this guy has got, I think that's Maddox, right?
Yeah.
That's Maddox, isn't it?
It's Avatar.
Soy King, Maddox. So this guy, he hates Maddox. But you can clearly tell that he's come along to see that Dick Masterson, the guy who originally led the spearhead against Maddox, isn't all that. It's kind of similar to Maddox. You can see in his tagline there, I am the prom king, I see that everything. So you can see that this is like an organic turning on both of these people. This is a poster who's seen through the bullshit of these grifters. He's seen through the bullshit of Maddox, he's seen through the bullshit of Dick Masterson. And these people were fans of theirs at one point in time. These aren't our fans. These aren't gay op skeptics. These aren't crowdists. These aren't even like Coach Red Pill's Chilean syndicate. These are the own members of the thread. Giving a fairly innocuous take. Who even cares? It is Ralph Tier's chat. It is Ralph Tier to discredit the individual personally without even recognizing that they actually have a valid argument and they're actually bringing something to the table.
And this next poster, right? This guy with a smooth brain avatar does bring up something. He says the account in question, all right, of George, right? He said, I get this if he was new, but he's been around since September 2018, which is still kind of new. And none of this shit he's come up with so far has seemed sketchy. So it's a guy who's had an account long before this drama, this conspiracy stuff has come about. This George user. He's been around since 2018, and he's just contributing to the thread. And because that pisses off Dick and causes him to tweet about it on twitter.com, Null swoops down and said, does anyone know what state this guy's from? Well, let me look at his IP address. Let me see his activity. Let me do a little cross-intel and collaboration with my own users. Oh, I forgot. Is the thread title George? What's the title of this thread? I think it's called Dick Masterson is the title of the thread. I might be wrong. I don't know. I haven't checked.
Well, remember, though, there's nothing to see here whatsoever. There's absolutely nothing to see. There's nothing to this. It's a nothing burger. It's only been going on for weeks and weeks now with more and more shocking revelations and cover-ups continuing constantly. But no, there's nothing to see here as Juice just decides to throw his users under the bus out in the open.
That's amazing. The thing. PPP, that's the thing. When I first read these posts, I'm just dumbfounded. I thought this was fake. I thought this is some strange extended kayfabe. Because let's be real. Let's pretend Null really is, okay, trying to gather information on his users. Wouldn't he do this in private channels? Why brazenly out in the open? And then that's when you guys told me, because now he has plausible deniability. The information, if it does come up from his users, he can say, look at this, which is the same thing he tried to pin on Ralph in the discussion they had on the Dick Show when Ralph said, well, some of your own users are calling you pedos. It's like 1 degree of separation. Your users are calling you pedos. Oh, well, my users found out who Ben was, not me. And that's why Dick know it. Even though Dick called him Ben before anyone did anything, right? Yeah, just wash your hands of it. Wash your hands. What is truth?
Yeah.
I could get into Null's response unless you guys had anything else to say about the previous post.
No, let's move on to the next screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Null's response to both of those users. And this is telling because this is how he views the whole thing. Null says, you were all saying Dick was having a total meltdown for calling this guy out as being Ben, and he's been denying it. Why is it bad to look into that if it's not bad for him to look into Dick? I'm not even trying to discredit him. After seeing Dispatch pull the world's gayest fag shit, something went off in my head, and I am completely done with these effing Z-list E-celebs coming on here to weaponize the forum. They're weaponizing the forum. I hope you guys know that. And post fake gay shit to, mess with each other. I'm completely and totally done with you white N-words shitting up my site. Look at how defensive people are getting when I just want to see if this one thing is actually true when it might harm the crusade. Whoa!
So just keep that up, Leo. Because there's so much to unpack there, isn't there?
Dense.
So you're being gaslit in the first sentence. You're all saying that Dick was having a total meltdown, right? He was having a total meltdown. Like he was in full fucking nuclear mode, having a meltdown on Twitter about this. Ben is George exposing that his living girlfriend, 80s girl, is a cam whore, is a thought, is a whore. So he was in total meltdown. So don't be gaslit into thinking that he wasn't. So why is it bad to look into that if it's not bad for him to look into Dick, right? So already double standards there, right? So why can't I defend Dick Masterson if you're attacking him?
The double standards.
PPP, I mean, are you seeing the hypocrisy here?
Oh yeah. No, I think anybody could see it. I think the blind can fucking see it. I think somebody with Down syndrome could fucking figure out what's going on here.
But look, who cares if this lone autist is looking into Dick Masterson's girlfriend? Why do you have to look into that lone autist to suspect his motivations?
These standards don't exist. Like, this isn't how the website normally works. And he's just saying, well, if you think that, you're a new fag. But, like, I know people on here, the site, are saying this is how it normally works. There's no precedent for him acting this way and trying to, dive into the motivations of just some random poster in the fucking thread. And if he hasn't touched on anything that's real, why is the response to him like this? Do you know what I mean?
And even stranger still is you have to understand, even though this is the focus of our episode, we've been talking about it, this is actually not the biggest thread on Kiwi Farms. This thread only has 166 pages, not even 200, right? Not even close to the growth of the Simspiracy thread, which he locked earlier. This thread is relatively slow, kind of obscure, right? And now we're seeing Null constantly posting in it, asking for private information of one of the users on the thread. Just bizarre Twilight Zone shit. I don't know what's going on here.
It's just to set.
But Leo, Josh isn't even trying to discredit this guy. He's just asking some questions.
Yes.
Perfectly innocent, innocuous questions.
But he's done with us Enslers, shitting up his site. He's done with these Z-list E-celebs who are coming over to weaponize the forum. Like, he's pretty much directly accusing all of us of having weaponized his... Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, I don't have an account on Kiwi Farms. I don't have a sock puppet on Kiwi Farms. I've never ordered anyone to go to Kiwi Farms and post on Kiwi Farms to weaponize, the forum against Josh. That's just never happened.
Well, it's just I have a sniper rifle and I put a Kiwi Farms decal on it, and the bullets are posts lined from the site. So I have weaponized the site a little bit, but you guys continue, PPP.
No, and if you want the ultimate proof that we don't have Kiwi Farms accounts, we don't really care about it. I mean, if we did have the accounts, Juice would have produced them by now. But he can't fucking produce my sock puppet.
Yeah, full disclosure, I do have an account, and I'm not afraid to admit that because I haven't posted there since, the Sarah Nyberg stuff, which you can, not to plug my own videos on my old channel, but from 2015, long ago, I made an account to help, investigate this tranny pedophile way back when, right? And it has less than 100, I think the whole account is less than 60 posts, totally inactive, dead. I think I resurrected it to make one post in the Nick Fuentes thread. That's it. I haven't used it at all.
So Josh is alluding here to, after seeing Dispatch pull the world's gayest F-slur shit, something went off in my head. Now he's referring to something that you were involved in, right?
Yes. So I wasn't involved in it. I was in a conversation with Dispatch when I keep hearing this claim, and I'm sure you guys have too, that, Null is cleaning up Ralph Retort's thread. Have you guys heard that? People have been saying that everywhere. So I went to Dispatch and I said, is there any evidence of this? Like, do you have any, per se, like an archive of a page of Ralph that shows posts that are there, and then a live version of the page where there aren't posts? And I could, if anything, which is hilarious, if only Null knew, I was being Null's advocate. I was there saying, yeah, you guys are claiming Null is cleaning up Ethan Ralph's. Do you have any evidence? You guys any proof? I was the one pressing Dispatch for details. And you know what Dispatch started to do? He started to look into it. Him and, the people on that stream, they started getting users from the site saying, can you compare the post count? They found archives where the post number was higher and has a different post number than it does in a live thread. Then they were able to zero in on one section during the stream.me drama in Ralph Retort's thread where a number of posts were missing. And this is really what Dispatch started to focus on. And he started to contact Null about it on the forums, right? And he was doing it in a very vitriolic way, of course, because it's Dispatch. He's not going to do it in a calm, nice way. He was saying, fix the captcha code and all this stuff. And Null's response, okay, is bizarre. He posts a SQL dump, I think like a SQL query showing the posts that are deleted, all caps, tags him 5 times in the post saying, F you, you know what? And then he just bans the guy. He says, I banned the nigga snake, he's dead. And it's just like...
So just in layman's language for all of us troglodytes out there, are you saying that Josh has been deleting posts in Ethan Ralph's thread?
Yes, but not for the reason that we believe, because it was from long ago. We're talking stream.me days, and it, as far as I could tell, what Dispatch was telling me, that it was at a time when anonymous users could post, and they were posting information unrelated to the thread. Basically, yes, posts were deleted from Ralph Retort's thread, but I have not been able to conclude that it was because of the recent conspiracy drama, or if it's been because of a long-standing relationship he's had with Ralph. But yes, I can say unequivocally, posts have been deleted from that thread. The motivations for it, we don't know. But even investigating
But you think that Josh's explanation for himself fell short?
Well, it's very left-brained. He's like, here's the SQL log. Like, he's like, let me show you the query. Here are the IDs that were deleted. Boom. And then that was it. And then he says, get dabbed on, get deleted, get banned. And, I almost empathize with Josh. Josh is, by the way, guys, Josh is going through a rough time right now. You guys understand that? He has a rough life. PPP, you mentioned that, right? He has a rough life. He
does. He has a very tough life. And I've said to you, like, if you were to wake up tomorrow morning and you woke up as Josh in Siberia, in like some shithole apartment just covered with takeout containers. The fucking garbage hasn't been taken out in a month. It fucking smells. There's flies. There's fucking just assorted garbage and trash. Just a hoarder's fucking paradise in this goddamn apartment. You haven't showered probably in a fucking month. You're disheveled. You're broken down. You're fucking living in Siberia. What would you do? How would you fix your fucking life? And now... you're being told to fucking clean it up. You're having to clean it up, but your users are calling you out on it. You're caught between a rock and a hard place between your two masters, Don Masterson, and your fucking users who support you financially. And you don't know what to fucking do. And some fat Canadian is talking to you about the gospel and making you rage and be mad at the internet. Yeah, it's tough to be fucking Janny Juice right now. And I didn't intend yesterday to make him spiral and make him fucking lose his mind and cry. I was trying to actually help the guy and try and actually clear his name of this collusion so we could move on with our lives. But he wants to fucking drag it up and clean it up. So far as I'm concerned, I have very little sympathy for his position at this point in time.
That's where you and I
Let's
differ.
explore how much more he's cleaning it up in the next screenshot, Leo. Bring it up.
Before we do, I just wanted to highlight this one part. He's using what Dispatch merely asking questions. He's using that as, I guess, an explanation for why it's okay for him to look into users. Do you see the strange conflation going on here? Like, what is even going on after seeing Dispatch pull this weird stuff, like asking me questions why posts are deleted?
Something went off in my head.
Kind of bizarre. I have no idea how this is even related or what's going on there. But as you said, Josh is in a rough place. But let's see what the next screenshot is. Let me pull it up very quickly on the splash. Let's see here. I actually am going to view all photos. I have to select them differently because what we find here is George, the poster in question, he finally gets to give his take on what's actually going on. And let me see here. Let me put this on the screen. Full screen. So this is George. Let me go to display. This is the user in question that everyone has been talking about. And I think his response really sums up the entire situation perfectly. So what George says is that I'm pretending to be George? Who am I pretending to be? I myself am a bit confused. It's clear I am an old fan, and I will be more than happy to say my intentions, of course. I've called this a while back on Maddox thread. Dick Masterson already has my private info. How, I don't care to say. I fully am expecting him to dox me. By the sounds of it, he's already privately spreading the dox and publicly calling me to be doxed so he can have justification for hitting back. Of course, I don't think the dox will show what you are hoping. I called out what was happening with the Dick Show, and predicted this conspiracy back during the Artist Revolt and Mint Drama, and he links to an earlier post. He says, moral of the story, you can trust New Project 2 and its very sane, rational CEO, Dax Herrera, a man who will not attempt to hold your private info against you for petty reasons. Honestly, I may lay low, head out. Karen spoke to the manager, and now the manager is upset with me.
Truly righteous. Round of applause for this.
And this guy isn't like a Jesse or Maddox. This is another person, right, that has a history with Dick Masterson. That clearly was a fan at one point. That clearly was a fan enough to give Dick Masterson payment details and his own docs to receive merchandise or whatever. And Dick Masterson is perfectly willing to do a Ralph and dox his pay pig and just throw out any issue of trust, any issue of being a decent person of integrity out of the window. This isn't what you do to somebody who is a fan of you, even if they are an A-log, right? You don't start doxing the guy publicly on Twitter.
No, I mean, it's just obvious. I mean, for the people who are out there who trust New Project 2 still and, believe that their info is safe, or even trust the Kiwi Farms and believe their info is safe, with these
But this is why, PPP, I think that, let's say if Toad were to speak his honest opinions about New Project 2 and Dick Masterson, can you just move back on to that screenshot, Leo? But if Toad were to speak his honest opinions and his honest words on New Project 2, then Dick Masterson would leak the guy's entire docs. As he's trying to do with this one guy, this Ben guy, this George guy, whatever his name is. As he's trying to do now. It's a few years down the line, but he's doing it. So are you trusting it? Press 1 if you trust Dick Masterson with your docs. Press 1 if you think he's not going to... No, press 2 if you think he's not going to leak it out on Twitter if you slight him on the Kiwi Farms.
I think...
I'm seeing so many ones. How many ones are you seeing, Leo?
Oh, so many. It's a sea of ones. Oh.
And PPP, how many ones do you see before your eyes?
It's actually a sea of twos, because you fucked up the bit. But that's all right.
Anyway.
Either way, Dick Masterson is not a trustworthy individual. And it's over. The moral of the story is that you shouldn't trust Dick Masterson. The moral of the story is that he will hold your private info against you for years. Years and years and years. A long, long time. And once you slight him, once you go against the party line, then he'll bring it up against you for petty reasons such as this.
I don't know, guys. I think Dax Herrera, the CEO, is totally different than Dick Masterson on Twitter. They're actually two different people. It's kind of like a splitting of the personalities, and I'm sure he's extremely professional as a CEO.
No, we can trust this man with clear substance abuse problems who's admitted he drinks before 3 p.m. every single day, who admits to constantly using hallucinogenic drugs and being a degenerate all day long. Yes, you can trust that man to be completely stable in his mental state and never ever lash out at you for personal vendettas, even though we're clearly seeing evidence after evidence, case after case of this man lashing out at people over personal vendettas and being determined to get revenge to the very last. With Maddox, he fucking stole his girlfriend, cucked him, stole his fucking audio technician, destroyed his fucking career, made him out to be a cuck and a loser and a bitch, and ruined his life. And, we're seeing instances here where he's doxing his pay pigs, and anybody who detracts him is having their videos flagged down or their comments deleted from farms. So, yeah, we're seeing a lot of evidence.
But wait. Josh comes in to give a very clear counterexample that blows all of these allegations we have out of the water. This idea that this is unprecedented, that this is unlike what Josh normally does. This is the last screenshot that I have, and it's Josh giving his explanation to all of this, quoting George's message, right? Dick contacted Karen, and now I'm in trouble. He says this: the alternative was possible. I showed this with Ralph coming on to accuse Persipicity, right? Prosperity, whatever. Of being
Prospero.
Right. Of being PPP. If you were not very likely to be this person, I would simply say so. So basically, he's at one point earlier in the forum's posting history said that this user is not PPP. He said,
and to prove it, he's looked up the IP address of Perspicity.
Among other, I'm sure a multitude of other, posting history and, the registration time, user agent, I'm sure he has other pieces of data, but yeah, he's looked at the user account's activity and has concluded, yeah, this is not PPP. And he says, so you're okay when I'm doing that. He goes on to say, for the accusation, I've been privately asked to handle things.
He's been privately asked to clean it up, ladies and gentlemen.
The smoking gun. The Simspiracy confirmed. Confirmed.
I've been privately asked to handle things.
Yeah. But what else do we need?
It's real.
It's
true. The cover-up is real. The collusion is real. It continues.
It continues.
No, it's actually real, though. It's not even like schizoid posting. This is him publicly telling us that for this accusation, he's been privately asked to handle things by Dick Masterson. This is what's happening. Well, he's saying he's been privately asked
for this accusation, right? He's been privately asked to handle things.
That right there, that says it all, doesn't it? And he says, my last message from Dick was on Monday after the stream to thank me for calling in. I know it's hard for you vulgarities, to imagine this, but I do have a lot of personal agency. In fact, I don't really have much besides my personal agency. It's amazing. This is what Null does. He keeps saying, like, I run the site how I want. I have my own personal agency. I do it. And then he does exactly.
Yeah, but he has as much personal agency as an employee does in a company. I'm pretty sure all of us who work have our personal agency, right? But we still can't, turn up to work naked. We still can't turn up to work and shit on the boss's desk. Or cause a fire at work. We can't do that because it would be breaking, the contract we've signed with our boss. The contract that Josh has signed with Dick Masterson is to clean it up for him for that $2,000 a month. And this is it. He's been privately asked to handle things. He might believe he's got a lot of personal agency, but that personal agency stops where Dick Masterson's personal agency begins.
Now, the thing is, PPP, you're going to say something?
Well, I think with this instance, we have to consider, does Josh have any other alternative to Dick Masterson? Because he tried to say to me when this all started to begin that he had an alternative, that he could easily go to Subscribestar, he could easily go to other options. But, it seems like to me, based on the personal DMs I've had with him, where he said he had nothing before this, and so, the assumption of that is without this, he has nothing. There's no other way for him to get any sort of income. And so he's forced to clean it up because he lives in Serbia and the only money that comes in is the new Project 2 money. By the way, which he's admitted that 2/3 of it bounces every month. So he's really only getting like $650 from the new Project 2. The rest of it probably goes straight into Dick's pocket, so.
And the thing is, for me, I'm not I have never been an admin of a site this big. But the content of the site, the kind of posters on the site, I would imagine a really, hands-free approach, hands-off approach, right? Unless authorities got involved, that's when I would do it. And I'm just dumbfounded that Null, doesn't listen to New Zealand authorities, but he listens to an LA-based comedian, but then has the gall, right? The audacity to tell us that I have personal agency. I handle the site the way I want.
But Leo, do the New Zealand authorities pay Josh $2,000 from their own bank account?
Right. Yeah. Forgot. My bad. So he does. This is his technique. I can do whatever I want. I'm just going to do exactly what would help Dick.
Yeah.
It's like people are saying in chat, right? I ain't no slave. I have my freedom. I can do what I want. I'm not no slave. I have my freedom. But all the while, he's shackled by the neck to a wall. He's allowed to walk a few paces, maybe around the four walls there. Maybe he's allowed to sort of peruse the box he's in. But
well, he's allowed to throw out tweets like just tweet the N-word and get it over with to Dax. And he's allowed to go.
But he's not allowed to actually tell Dick Masterson what he should be telling him. Stop responding to your own thread. Stop spurging out. Stop going into a tism on Twitter on your own thread.
Oh, and the other
because that would be an employee, an upstart employee. That would be an underling getting a bit too uppity with their lords and masters.
And PPP, you've seen the posts where he's so arguing about semantics, saying, Dick Masterson doesn't pay me anything. It's fans who donate to New Project 2, and through the service, I'm getting the money. Completely sidestepping the fact if Dick Masterson wasn't in the equation, he wouldn't get the money. Yes, I know Dick Masterson is not personally giving you that number that's shown on your account, but the service is the one that's getting to you. You have to fill out, right, the merchant application for Authorize.net. Like, yes, Dick Masterson is the way you receive the money, but he argues, splits hairs, talks about semantics.
It's just straight up autism. It's straight up autism or being purposely obtuse where it's like, well, no, actually, it's the processor that pays, not Dick. Well,
without Dick Masterson going to the bank, there would be no Project 2.
Yes.
There would be no New Project 2 without Dick Masterson's bank account being fundamentally involved in its construction.
Without his relationship with Chase Bank, there is no New Project 2. So it's just bullshit. So.
This is now, I guess, brings us to the next point of like, who's going to snake on who now? Because as far as I recall, I remember an earlier episode Null had done. He announced that this is all over, that it's finished, mission accomplished. There's no more to this. And yet in this coming week, we have seen his thread, Dick Masterson's thread, starting to snowball into this disaster. It's kind of like Ragnarok at Kiwi Farps right now. It's end times. People are wondering whether or not Internet Famous will be deleted. And if Internet Famous is deleted, do you really think that Ralph Retort, Dick Masterson, Nick Fuentes, do you think all these threads will just disappear or will they be moved?
Well, I mean, obviously what's going to happen is people's threads that people have an interest in that's going to cause a revolt, like Ethan Ralph's thread going, stuff like that, might get moved over to Lolcow. My thread will be moved over. And Dick's thread will be totally sanitized and cleaned up.
And so will Ricata's, so will Nick Risotto's thread. That'll also be swept away.
So will Nick Risotto's, people like Nick Fuentes, Kraut. A lot of these threads that are in Internet Famous are going to be completely swept up into the trash. Gonzalo Lira's, I think, will be swept up.
But the main thing is, right, I mean, Josh only wants one thread to be swept up, and that's the Dick Masterson thread, because that's what his boss is telling him to do. Yeah, so to look more credible, he'll go full scorched earth and remove the entire subset. To look a bit more credible.
Yeah, so it won't just be one thread. It'll be, I'm just tired with this whole thing, and it's all gone.
The equivalent is, right? The equivalent is, you've done a murder. You've murdered somebody. And instead of, fessing up or doing the right thing, you burn down the entire house to make it look like arson.
Well, of course. Of course.
And I think this is the thing, guys. Since the site is all about making fun of people on the internet, there is no accusation more heinous than what is being put forth by this New Project 2 allegations. The idea that you're not allowed to make fun of the one who runs Null's payment processor. That, that accusation unto itself is so, vile for a site that's so dedicated to free speech, so dedicated to you can make fun of anyone on the internet you want. This is why Null is reacting the way that he is, because it's one that has a bit of ground to it, has a lot of, I would say, authenticity to it, as we've shown. This is the reason why he's spiraling.
What it says on the tin is free speech forum that'll allow you to say anything you want, even if it's borderline harassment, borderline criminal, as long as it falls into the gray area, it's fine. Then telling you once you open up the tin, you realize, people are being deleted, being banned, threads are being locked at the suggestion of the man who pays the owner of the website. And you start to realize, it's not actually what it's described as. It's actually just a hug box forum to troll shield Josh and his buddies. That's what it is. I mean, it's pretty obvious now.
That's what you're saying. And the sad thing is, I know in Null's heart of hearts, that's not what the site is, and that's not what it was supposed to be. But it has like slowly turned into that once he got involved with these grifters. This is why his hands are tied in all directions. No, I do not envy Null's position in any way, right? Because he's just, whatever he does, he's going to upset his user base, he's going to upset his manager, he's going to upset, just all corners. His hands are tied. And we talked about this earlier, Godwinson. What do you think Null should do? What is the best option for him at this point in time?
Well, I think he should stop the pretense that he's a free speech absolutist and he's really on the side of his users and he's not going to troll shield for anyone. I think he should just stop the pretense now. Just go full scorched earth, protect your Lord and Master Dick Masterson. By all means, delete Internet Famous. You know what I mean? By all means, just secede to all of Dick Masterson's demands. There are clearly no semblance of free speech being on Kiwi Farms anymore. So, I mean, I'd stop the pretense, really. And just bounce your Lord and Master. And then Dick Masterson will be happy with you. He won't be spurging out on Twitter. You'll be a good little capo. And therefore, you'll get your $2,000. You might even get all of it this time. But you might only get, 2/3 instead of the 1/3 you're actually getting at the moment. So, I mean, it's a win-win for Josh in that regard. Obviously, he'll lose the respect of his user base and all of the people that trust him and all of that. But, I mean, those people, a large majority of them don't even pay him, Dick Masterson's the one holding the purse strings. So, therefore...
We made a prediction previously about what might happen. So, if he sweeps up the entire Internet Famous section of the site, he may just move it to 9chan. He may move it all to 9chan and say, just go to 9chan to discuss these things. So in one move, in one blow, he has both at the same time cleaned it up off the Kiwi Farms and at the same time boosted traffic to 9chan, which is pretty much dead in the water right now.
Yeah, and I can see that happening. It would be beneficial to somebody like Dick Masterson, who every time he Googles his name now, that Kiwi Farms thread comes up. So it'll be beneficial to hide all of the Dick Masterson reveals and details and exposures onto 9chan. That doesn't even show up in the Google search algorithm. So that would benefit his Lord and Master, and it would benefit all of his friends, like the fake lawyer and Fuentes and Ralph.
And remember, he's going to get to save on server costs for Kiwi Farms by removing all that. Because sure, it brings in traffic to the site, but that traffic costs him money. It's not like he's really monetizing it. So if he can drive off that traffic or divert that traffic elsewhere, it's going to help him maybe with the server bill. I don't know.
And
things to consider.
If he really tries to do that, the whole let's just nuke Internet Famous and redirect everyone to 9chan, I'm giving you my prediction. No, it's not going to work that well. I don't think the transition will really be. The transition will go about as well as it did for the previous attempts.
But you got to remember, he just interpreted that as you saying it will go really, really well.
Right, the opposite.
Because, he has oppositional defiance disorder where he has to disobey what everybody tells him to do no matter what it is. If it's breathe oxygen, well, he fucking will never breathe again. This is the sort of man that we're dealing with.
But I just, want to make it clear, I really did like the idea of the site, and I just think it's horrible that once e-celebs and grifters got involved, which is what Null voluntarily did. He's playing the victim by saying, like, oh, these e-celebs, e-grifters are coming in. And so he was the one who's appearing on the Ralph Retort. He's the one who's appearing on Dick Masterson's show. He's not a distant, if you will, third-party admin who's just kind of sitting around, hands-free, letting the site do its thing until he gets legal calls. No, he's an active user. He goes onto these, these talk shows and stuff, and now he's all like, oh, no, I can't believe the site's political. Oh, no, I can't believe the site's about e-celebs. What?
I mean, this is a guy, right, who, outright has talked on political issues and appeared on political podcasts in the past. He's appeared on the Kill Stream. He's spoken to me publicly and privately about the state of Israel, about the surveillance state, about the internet becoming sanitized and being a hug box. I mean, this guy talks about political issues all the time. So he can't blame me for introducing politics to his website or blame us for that when he himself engages in politics and makes these appearances. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. There's no reasoning behind that anybody could conclude is legitimate.
Sure.
I don't know.
So we've gone for about an hour. Was there any other topics that we were really needed to hit on today, Godwinson?
Well, I wanted to cover that Masterson Maddox group you were telling me about. You want to give us the TLDR on that, Neil?
Sure. I don't have the screenshots on it, but what we see are being posted is within the Masterson group, some of his own fans are starting to turn on Masterson by basically saying, yeah, Dick, you've been acting really stupid in the last couple of weeks. And going back to Maddox, we're getting kind of bored of that. That's not that interesting. It seems like you're acting totally retarded. And then when people start realizing, whoa, you're kind of dumb. Oh, look at Maddox. Maddox is acting really dumb over here. And they're saying, like, we're fed up with it. And the leaked screenshots from the group are them basically saying, like, yeah, more than one person's happening. And what I'm seeing is a parallel to what happened when we covered the Nick Fuentes drama several months ago. Fans could see this, right? These are not a, if you will, an army of people out to kill Dick Masterson stuff. Maybe it's like his own fans who are starting to go like, whoa, this guy's kind of dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Same thing with Nick Fuentes. His own fans started to go like, wow, this is not what we really thought you were like. But how did Nick Fuentes spin it? Oh, everyone's a Vaush fan. They're a Wignat. They're a communist Wignat Vaush fan. How is Dick Masterson spinning? Oh, they're a Maddox A-log Kiwi farmer thing. Anything but a fan that once liked him and thinks he's kind of stupid now. That's not an option. There's no way that's an option. These are all just people out to personally end his life, right?
And the thing is, Masterson is in such a desperate point now, where you can look on his Twitter right now and you can see that he's begging Red Letter Media, Meister Classer, and Jerry Bauman to come onto his show. These guys aren't going to touch Dick Masterson with a 10-foot barge pole. It's just not going to happen. But he's desperate enough to beg in the gutter so that it'll come on.
Well, imagine being
and
Red Letter
he thinks that Dick Masterson himself, he thinks that he himself is such a draw for Red Letter Media to come on. Did you not know he was on Dr. Phil 15 years ago? Did you not know he cameoed in a Pizza Hut commercial 13 years ago? Did you not know he lives in a Barbie doll dream mansion? No, of course Red Letter Media don't know who you are, Dick Masterson, because you only have 30,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
You have less subscribers than Toad McKinley. Mick Judas has more of an internet presence than you do, Dick Masterson. And you've been on this, as we showed in the first clip here. The first fag, Dick Masterson, the first F-slur, Dick Masterson, has been browsing the internet since 2005. He's been in the gutter. He's been posting since 1997 on the internet. He is the first fag. He invented the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
OG. He helped with ARPANET. He was there.
Yeah, he only has, in the current year, 2020, 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. And his live show gets 100 live viewers.
It's a live show that you have to pay $20 to see. $20 to see his live show full of dead air, full of audio glitches, full of Sean the audio tech being frozen, full of like stale jokes and brutal fucking callers and fake laughter, and it's $20. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, it's what's up, PPP? You're gonna say something?
No, it just blows my mind that there are people out here that enable this level of grifter, where it's just so obvious that they have no actual real principles or any real morality. You know, their views are interchangeable. They go with the wind. One day it's this, another day it's that. You know, I remember like a Dick show about how you should return shopping carts from years ago. Now it's, no, never return a shopping cart. You know, like stuff like this are the big grappling issues that Dick talks about on his show. You know, and people think he's going to save the white race or save America. And these people really believe shit like this, you know, and donate money to him. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know, I do want to make it clear. I don't know if I speak for you two, but I do hope something good comes out of this. You said that Noel had told you earlier he has many different payment processors on hand. I hope he actually acts on that. We're making the assumption, we're making jokes that he doesn't. If he does, I'm telling you, your user base, your forum would support you if you find an alternate payment processor.
Oh, we're telling him what to do, and so he won't do it, right? There's no sense giving him any sort of advice because he just uses that to say you're bad faith and you're telling him what to do. Which, to be perfectly honest, I'm just going to let people know right now, like, I believe that Noel is a bad faith actor. Like, I genuinely believe he's in the pocket of Dick Masterson. My behavior, like my interactions with him and observing his behavior over the last like 24 hours has led me to believe that he's totally full of shit, to the point where I don't even want to give him a platform. I don't even want to talk to this guy, because all it's going to be is him trying to turn me into a Maddox, or trying to turn me into the mundane Matt of this situation so he can deflect the criticism away from Dick, his master, and away from himself. And he's going to try and make me into the supervillain so that he can then delete the internet famous board, pin it all on me. Somehow I ran this gay op. So, like, I what's going to happen if we have the show tomorrow with Josh? I can promise you, his mic's going to be cranked up to fucking 200. Mine will be cranked down to negative fucking 9,000. Then if anything happens where he's upset, suddenly Dick Masterson will be there, to give his backup. Ralph might come in. Who knows? Maybe Josh will just break his sign a peace treaty with Zoom and bring in Zoom. Oh. I can't trust this guy to be good faith.
Can we talk about that again with Dick? That was kind of swept under the rug when Dick was answering the phone. Hey, got off the phone with Zoom. Zoom wants in. You've seen how Josh reacts to anyone, if they have even a modicum, if even a little bit of an association with Zoom. You see how he reacts to that, right? He's furious, totally wants to cut ties. But for some reason, Dick Masterson having the personal phone number, or Zoom having Dick Masterson's personal phone number, him being able to call him on time, it didn't seem to faze him too much.
Oh, Zoom mind controlled Dick Masterson into giving him the phone number. Dick didn't even realize that, when he was on air saying, oh, he's going to call in, he's going to call my number. That was actually, that wasn't Dick. That was him being possessed by the pedophile spirit of Corey Barnhill. Like, what's the actual, there's an association between Corey Barnhill and Dick, and there's an association between him and Ralph. But Josh conveniently ignores both of them and pretends like they don't exist. Which leads me to believe that, either his hatred for Corey isn't as real as he wants to make it seem, or that he's totally in the pocket of Dick and being told to ignore those things.
But don't forget, the reason why he locked the Dick conspiracy thread was because Zoom was being chilled in there. So he used Zoom as a scapegoat, as a smokescreen to lock that thread.
Well, exactly.
That's forgetting, that it benefits his Lord and Master Dick Masterson by closing up a Simpspiracy thread where all of these claims and all of these allegations are laid out in one convenient place. No, that's locked now. You can't even post it there. You have to post it in several of the threads. You have to post it in your thread, Ralph's thread, Masterson's thread. It's cleaned and sanitized. And if you do post anything that's compromising to Dick Masterson, he's going to dox you. He's going to send your IP to Dick Masterson. Masterson's going to dox his pay pig live on Twitter. So this is where we are now.
Well,
Zoom was used as a smokescreen.
It's clear that Zoom is actually,
if he didn't like Zoom that much, or if he thought that Zoom was like a Voldemort, he didn't want to platform Zoom at all. Why has Zoom got a thread? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Why are we constantly even referring to Zoom on Kiwi Farms? Like every time Josh talks about Zoom, he's doing it all the time.
It's because Zoom is a useful tool for these people to immediately shut down anything they don't like. And
exactly.
They've all called him out as whatever, so they have plausible deniability, but for whatever reason, they tend to all associate with this guy at one time or another. Seems like he takes turns being in each one of their Discords, I don't know. It smells fucking fishy to me that any time they need to be bailed out, Zoom is there to give them an easy out to where they can shut it down or clean it up or say, I'm a Zoom fucking, he's pulling the puppet strings, I'm in Plate Gang, this is the sad shit that they come up with.
Well, can you guys just correct me? I want to make sure my memory hasn't gone completely whack. Zoom at one point was working with Ralph, right?
Well, he was going to move in with Ralph and Worski in Miami. That was the rumor I heard, right? They were going to live in a streamer house.
A rumor, they announced it. They announced it was going to be Worski, Ralph, Zoom, and they were going to all be living together at the same house, and they were going to do a 24-hour live stream.
So, you can't, Josh bans users from his forums for linking to relevant content that Zoom talks about, but then he goes on streams where Zoom has been a guest, where Zoom has the phone number of the host, where Zoom has worked with them, right?
Well, look, the reality is he's friends with people, Dick Masterson, who are also friends with Zoom.
Right. At least that much I could say. Also, Godwinson, are you still in the call or did you drop?
I am. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I could. You just kind of cut out for a second. But yeah, it's kind of bizarre. This whole thing is strange. Where again, we don't have the sorry, Medicare fanboys. Right? We don't have the chat logs. We don't have video recordings of what's actually going on. We are looking at this from outside in, and we're just blown away by all of this. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. We're just recording this.
No, we're subverting the culture of Kiwi farms through telepathic mind control
and
brigading,
commanding our armies to ascend, to just destroy, bomb the site with our words.
This guy is a total bum. This is the reality. Is Josh is just a total subhuman piece of shit. I mean, the guy probably could still find a job. There are convicted felons who can find jobs. Do you know what I mean? It might not be the most glamorous job in the fucking, but the guy could find a job and put his life together. But instead, he chooses to believe that he has no other life other than this, and he just gets dug deeper and deeper into it, to the point where he can never escape. But it's never too late, Josh. It's never too late to actually figure your shit out, or at least stop being such a greasy fucking janitor. Fuck. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if you're going to give up your whole life for the Kiwi farms to preserve its purity of form, you would think that you wouldn't just sell out for $2,000, which really isn't even $2,000. It's like $650 a month. Holy fuck.
So yeah, any last words, Godwinson, PPP?
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The collusion is proved, the cover-up is real, and so is the conspiracy. Keep watching the skies, ladies and gentlemen. Keep watching the skies. The truth is out there, and trust no one. Trust no one at all, because they're all grifters, they're all liars, and they're all looking to harvest your information so they can use it sometime down the line to humiliate you, to dox you, so they can get a one-up and invalidate you as a person altogether. Even if you do have a valid argument against, they're just going to turn you into mundane Matt. They'll turn you into Matt. So play their game and die. Don't play the game and win.
My moral of this story was just don't give your personal information to Mexican Jews. But also trust no one. Trust no one. The truth is out there. The conspiracy is real. PPP, do you have anything? Any last words?
No, I just want to say fuck the Jannies and fuck the Sweepy Squad. Fuck them all. And I hope they all rot in hell.
Yep.
Bastards.
Hope this doesn't get banned. But thanks everyone for tuning in.
We'll see.
We will see you around. There will hopefully be more episodes. We don't know on what channel. So peace, God bless, and good night.